Hello, this video is part of a series of resources for Texas property owners. I'm Pat O'Connor with O'Connor & Associates, and the topic for today's video is, should you be taxed for your home as though it's in livable condition or as though it's in sellable condition? So what's the difference between livable condition and sellable condition? Well, the difference is most homes that have been sold recently are in pristine condition. The realtor coaches the homeowner what needs to be done to get the maximum price and also to sell the home as quickly as possible. And there's a number of factors that can be included. First off, let's start with interior and exterior paint. Perhaps the paint on the inside is discolored and perhaps the paint on the exterior is peeling. Well, these are issues you'd have to address. Or perhaps in a moment of bold creativity, you painted a bedroom orange and purple. Well, it seemed like a cool idea at the time, but you're going to have to repaint that in more of a neutral color. Another item is smoke odor. So if someone in the house smokes, you are going to have to get rid of the smoke odor to get the maximum value for your house. Sure, the house is livable with smoke odor, but it's not sellable with smoke odor. At least you're not going to get maximum price, and it's going to be difficult to find a buyer. So what are you going to have to do? Well, you're going to have to repaint the interior of the house at least once and maybe 2 or 3 times to get rid of the smoke odor, and probably replace the carpeting. And pet owners, I know you don't think your pets smell, but they do. So you're going to have to do the same thing as the smoker. Repaint probably multiple times and replace the carpet. Another example is landscaping. Perhaps you're not Mr. Landscaper or Mrs. Landscaper, and landscaping is not what you enjoy doing. Well, if your landscaping is subpar for the neighborhood, the realtor is going to strongly encourage you to bring it up to at least the neighborhood standard so you can sell your house timely and get the maximum price. Another example is your privacy fence. Maybe the privacy fence is 10, 15, 20 years old and it's looking a little shabby. Well, that's certainly acceptable for a house to be in livable condition, but it's not acceptable for a house to be in sellable condition. You're not going to get the prime price if your house is not in pristine condition. Another issue is rotten wood on the exterior of the house. Maybe some of the wood is starting to rot a little bit. It's been a while since you have repainted, and perhaps for whatever reason you don't plan to replace it for a couple of years. Well, if you were going to sell the house, you would have to both replace the wood and also repaint where you had replaced the wood. So there's a cost to that, and you should not be taxed on the cost to make a house sellable when it's only livable. And 2 final examples are if you have a roof at the end of its useful life or an HVAC unit at the end of its useful life. Most buyers will get an inspection report, and either of those items will be a deal killer for most buyers. If a buyer is looking at buying a house and they think they're going to have to replace the roof or the HVAC shortly after they purchase the house, most will pass. They don't want to incur such a large expense just after purchasing a house. So when you go to the appraisal district for your hearing, bring documentation on the issues that make the house livable versus sellable. And encourage the appraisal district to take these items into account, because it's unreasonable for you to be taxed on a house as though it were sellable when in fact it's really only in livable condition. To find out if you're fairly taxed, go to the Texas Fairness Checker at cutmytaxes.com. It's free, requires no personal information, and takes less than a minute, and you'll find out if you're fairly taxed or not. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be back soon with another tip.